Imagine a quiet night, the kind of night where even time seems to slow its breathing. Somewhere far beyond your skin, stars hum softly, not as distant fires, but as living thoughts pulsing in silence. You may begin to feel it, that strange familiarity between the sky above and the quiet within. What if the universe is not something you look at, but something looking through you? What if every shimmer of light, every drift of air, every cell inside your body is a single thought in a vast, dreaming mind? You breathe, and with that breath, galaxies move, invisible but certain, like the tide answering the pull of the moon. Each inhale is an arrival, each exhale a surrender. In this rhythm, the cosmos begins to listen. There is no rush here, only the unfolding of awareness, one heartbeat at a time. You are not apart from the night sky. You are the space that holds it. You are not the observer. You are the listening itself. The air grows softer now. You might sense the weight of your body melting into something lighter, almost luminous. It's as if the boundaries between you and the dark are dissolving, gently, like ink in water. The sound of your breath becomes the slow, endless exhale of the stars. Somewhere, a memory stirs, not of your past, but of before time began. A whisper in the silence. You have always been here. Perhaps it was not the universe that was born, but awareness itself, learning how to look at its own reflection. You may begin to notice that even your thoughts have textures, some crisp and bright, others soft and fading like distant waves. They come and go, and yet the field beneath them remains unchanged. That stillness, the one you feel between each breath, is the mind of the cosmos, pausing to feel itself. There is no need to understand. Understanding belongs to the surface. What is happening now is deeper, a quiet recognition. Something in you remembers how to listen without effort. Imagine now that your body is a shore and the night is an ocean. Each wave of breath washes against you, retreating, returning, polishing thought into silence. The rhythm is ancient, older than any word, older than the stars themselves. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. You can almost sense a hum beneath all sound, a low vibration, like the hidden heartbeat of creation. It does not come from outside. It rises from within you, from the same place that dreams come from, the same field where atoms remember their dance. Let that hum cradle you now. Feel how it settles your mind, how it threads through the spaces between your thoughts. You are entering the gentle architecture of awareness itself. Walls made of light, corridors made of soundless time. You are home. Perhaps you've always suspected this, that your body is not separate from the stars, but an echo of their song. Every atom inside you was once part of a burning sun, once part of the same breath that now moves through space. The universe does not merely surround you, it becomes you, again and again in every inhale. The temperature shifts, slightly warmer, like the embrace of unseen light. Your shoulders loosen. Your heartbeat aligns with something vast, a pulse too wide to measure, yet unmistakably familiar. You are listening to existence breathe. And in this listening, awareness softens. Thought slows. There is nothing left to reach for, nowhere to go. You are already inside the story the stars are telling. For a moment, allow yourself to dissolve. Let go of the idea of a thinker, a listener, a separate self. There is only breath, rising, falling, rising again, like a tide of infinite gentleness. And somewhere between those waves, the question lingers. If the universe is alive, could it be that you are its dream of itself? Your breath answers quietly. It always has. Sleep does not arrive. It unfolds, like dawn inside the dark. Each blink slower than the last, each thought lighter than before. The air around you thickens with stillness, your hands warm, like folded twilight. The hum deepens now, blending with the sound of your own pulse. This is how consciousness speaks, not in words, but in waves. You are listening to creation think, and it is thinking in your voice. Drift. Let the rhythm carry you. In this vastness, nothing is lost. Everything, every star, every cell, every flicker of awareness is remembering the same ancient breath. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. The night holds its breath. You can almost feel it. The stillness, thick as velvet, stretching from your fingertips to the edges of space. Somewhere, a single photon escapes the darkness, carrying the memory of its first awakening. It has traveled for billions of years, through dust, through silence, through the endless drift of time. And tonight, it finds you, not by chance, but by recognition, like an old friend returning home. It touches your skin, gently, and in that instant, the universe remembers itself, not as a distant, unreachable sky, but as warmth against your cheek. You might not notice it at first, that subtle shimmer behind your eyelids, like the trace of dawn before it's born. But the light notices you. It sees through you, and in seeing, it awakens every hidden color sleeping in your being. Every atom inside you has seen this light before. Long ago, when all that existed was a breath suspended in eternity, you were there, as potential, as vibration, as song. When the first stars ignited, their light whispered your name. You are made of their remembering. Perhaps you can sense it now, that gentle pulse beneath your skin. It's not your heart alone. It's the slow echo of a cosmic heartbeat, still traveling through time, still shimmering in the quiet between your thoughts. Imagine that each cell of your body holds a tiny window of light. Each breath opens it a little wider. Through those windows, galaxies look inward, studying themselves through your awareness. You are not seeing the universe. The universe is seeing through you. The air grows luminous, not brighter, but softer, like starlight diluted in milk. You can almost taste it, faintly sweet, like the edge of a dream. Your mind relaxes, folds into the glow. Even your thoughts seem to move slower now, as if bathed in honeyed stillness. Somewhere deep inside, a memory awakens. It's not human, not bound by years or stories. It's a pulse, the original rhythm, before words, before breath. It whispers, everything you touch is made of light, slowed down to love. And as that sentence hums through you, something inside unclenches. A soft sigh, an exhale that feels older than your body. For a moment, you are weightless, not rising, not falling, simply suspended in awareness, like the photon between origins and destinations. You may begin to feel a warmth gathering in your chest, not heat, but presence. It expands with each breath, quiet and certain, like dawn seen from inside a dream. This is how the universe remembers, through your stillness. The stars above are not strangers anymore. They are neurons in the cosmic brain, firing softly as you rest. Their light travels across eternity to deliver a single thought. I am aware. That thought moves through you too. It vibrates in the marrow of your bones, in the rhythm of your blood. You are that thought, stretched into form, wrapped in starlight. Even the darkness that surrounds you is not absence. It is potential, waiting to bloom into brightness. The light continues its story. It speaks not in words, but in sensations. Warmth, pulse, silence. Each moment it touches you, a pattern rearranges itself within. Old noise dissolves. New clarity takes its place. Perhaps you begin to see faint images behind your closed eyes. Not dreams, not memories, but waves of color flowing like tides across the black. They shimmer, they breathe, they pulse in rhythm with your heart. This is how awareness paints. This is how light remembers. You once held a stone warmed by the sun. It felt alive, heavy, yet humming softly beneath your palm. That hum is still here. Every object, every element, holds the same ancient vibration. Nothing is ever truly still. Even in silence, everything sings. And as you listen deeper, the song becomes familiar. It's not a song made of notes, but of intervals. The space between what was and what is. It sounds like home. The photon that touched you carries no agenda, no message of control. Its only language is presence. It asks for nothing, yet gives everything. Illumination, warmth, awareness. That is the secret of light. It never arrives empty-handed. It always brings remembrance. You may feel your breath deepen now. The space behind your ribs expands, slowly, gently. Your lungs do not just move air. They shape reality, creating rhythm from stillness. Each inhale is the universe rediscovering its own existence through you. Somewhere far away, or perhaps very near, another photon begins its journey. Maybe it will travel for billions of years before it finds another set of eyes to meet. Or maybe it will find you again, in another form, another lifetime, another dream. Light is patient. It never forgets. The hum of your body blends with the hum of the cosmos. The boundary between inner and outer dissolves like mist. There is no longer a you breathing in the universe, only the universe breathing itself. And as that realization settles, a kind of serenity rises. Not an emotion, but a recognition that you were never born and you will never truly end. You are a current in the eternal field of knowing. Rest here. Let light pool in your mind like warm water. Feel how it soothes each thought into transparency. There is nothing to fix, nothing to become. Only this, light remembering itself through you. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. The silence around you is no longer empty. It moves, slowly, like liquid glass folding in on itself. Each shimmer of stillness carries the memory of light rearranging form, tracing the delicate threads that bind everything to everything else. You may begin to feel a quiet current running through your hands. Not a pulse, but a soft vibration. The language of the smallest particles speaking in warmth. They are not just matter. They are slowed light, condensed radiance, dreaming itself into touch. Your body listens. It has always known this language. The hum beneath your skin, the slight shimmer in your breath. It's how the universe communicates with itself through sensation. You don't have to translate it. You only have to feel. The space inside your chest opens like a slow dawn. You sense the ribs expanding, but it's more than air. It's light unfolding. It fills the lungs, slips into blood, weaves through nerves like golden silk. Every breath paints you anew, brushstroke by brushstroke. Somewhere deep within, you might feel a faint spark, the smallest flicker, like the reflection of a candle across still water. That spark is awareness, noticing itself. It doesn't think. It doesn't try. It simply shines. And when it shines, You see, each thought, each memory, each emotion you've ever carried is made of the same luminous fabric. Even sorrow glows when you look softly enough. Even fear shimmers when you allow it to be seen. There is no darkness in the universe, only light that has learned to rest. Perhaps you remember now, the moment before you were born. Not a place, but a vibration. A pulse that said, "You may begin." And you did. You began as radiance, choosing form, choosing breath, choosing the slow rhythm of becoming. This body you inhabit, it's not a cage, it's a lens. Through it, light learns to feel. Through your senses, the infinite experiences texture, temperature, tenderness. Each touch is eternity brushing against itself. You may begin to sense a subtle warmth along your spine. It rises like a golden tide, slow and patient, as if climbing invisible stairs of breath. It gathers at the crown of your head, a field expanding like a small sun, remembering how to rise. The warmth spreads through your face, behind your eyes, softening every shadow. You are glowing from within. Imagine the entire cosmos leaning in, listening through your heartbeat. Stars, nebulae, drifting dust, all tuning themselves to the rhythm of your pulse. You are not small in this vastness. You are the vastness remembering its own rhythm. There is a moment now, between inhale and exhale, where everything holds still. Time stops. Thought dissolves. And in that stillness, you realize nothing needs to be added to make you whole. You already are the completed equation, energy balanced, consciousness fulfilled. Somewhere, the photon returns, the same one that touched you before. It moves through the atmosphere, slides into your room, rests upon your skin once more. And in that meeting, the story circles back to its source. Light does not forget its path. It only waits for recognition. A gentle breeze, or maybe just imagination, brushes across your face. It feels alive, intelligent, aware. Perhaps it's the air itself, remembering how to love. You breathe it in, and it feels like forgiveness. You once held a warm stone in sunlight. It whispered, "Abundance does not rush." That whisper returns now, in a deeper language. It says, "You are enough, even when you are still." The stone, the light, the air, the heartbeat, all repeating the same sacred wordless prayer, existence itself. And with that realization, something quiet opens. Your mind, no longer trying to control, begins to float, weightless as pollen. Thoughts drift in and out, unhurried. Some carry shapes of memories. Some dissolve before they're born. Everything flows. Everything breathes. It may seem as if you are falling, but it's not falling down. It's falling inward into the vast center of awareness. There is no bottom, no edge, only layers of softness, of remembering. You are being received by something infinite and kind. Now, feel the weight of your body again, the gentle pull of gravity, the earth's slow embrace. You are light wrapped in matter, being held by light wrapped in planet. Each cell sighs, releasing what it no longer needs. Tension melts like ice under morning sun. Your breath moves slower now. Each inhale feels like a tide returning home. Each exhale, a wave folding into sand. The mind begins to blur, edges softening, thoughts stretching into gentle distance. This is not sleep yet. It's the preparation, the threshold between awareness and dream. The space around you glows dimly in the unseen spectrum, a pale blue, like moonlight diffused through water. You feel surrounded by quiet intelligence, something vast and benevolent. It observes without eyes, hears without ears, loves without reason. This is the living mind, the one that has been breathing through you since the first dawn of time. Listen closely. It speaks in the voice of your own calm heartbeat. It says nothing you must remember, nothing you must repeat. It only hums the truth you've always known. You belong. And as you hear that, the world softens. Walls, air, distance, all dissolve into one continuous field of awareness. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, momentarily shaped into listening. The air hums. The breath slows. Light curls inward, like silk folding itself back into the loom. Everything becomes simple again. Pulse, warmth, stillness, being. You are home in the memory of light. You are the remembering itself. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. The night has become translucent now. You no longer see the sky as distance. It feels close, almost intimate, like the inner walls of your own mind stretched into infinity. Each star flickers not as a distant fire, but as an impulse, a neuron firing across the synaptic vastness of space. Somewhere beyond your gaze, a filament of galaxies bends and glows. Clusters of light, connected by invisible threads of gravity, form the great neural pathways of the cosmos. What scientists call the cosmic web. You can feel it now, breathing through you. Every thread of that web vibrates with a frequency that mirrors your own thoughts. Perhaps you've heard it said, the structure of the universe looks like the structure of the brain. It isn't a metaphor, it's a memory. The universe is not imitating the mind. It is mind, unfolding itself in patterns vast enough to contain every dream that ever was. You may begin to imagine your consciousness stretching outward, cell by cell, until it touches that web. The connection is seamless. No signal sent, no message received. Only a knowing, spreading through the field like light through glass. You are not observing the web. You are one of its luminous nodes. Every thought you have ripples through it, gentle as a sigh, infinite as starlight. Listen, there is a hum behind the silence, like a low choir holding one eternal note. It is the background radiation of creation, the residual sound of beginnings. Physicists call it the afterglow of the Big Bang. But to you, right now, it feels like memory, the faint echo of your first breath as the universe learning to inhale. You may begin to feel a soft vibration in your chest again. Each heartbeat is a signal, each pulse a transmission across light years. Your heart is a small sun, its electromagnetic rhythm dancing in harmony with solar winds, with pulsars, with galaxies turning in slow cosmic grace. Everywhere, everything listens. Atoms listen to gravity. Cells listen to hormones. Minds listen to the silent conversation between past and possibility. And above it all, the field listens, patiently, endlessly, as it always has. You might picture this field as a sea, not of matter, but of awareness. Every drop remembers every other drop. Every wave carries the signature of the whole. You are one of those waves, curling for a brief, beautiful moment before returning to stillness. And even in stillness, you continue. Pattern, frequency, knowing. The body you rest in now, it is not isolated from this field. Your neurons shimmer like constellations. Your synapses spark with the same golden geometry that draws galaxies together. When you think, the universe rearranges itself. When you love, the field brightens. Imagine each thought as a photon released, a beam of information traveling through the unseen lattice of being. Some fade, some reach another mind, another heart, in ways you may never notice, but none are lost. Every thought adds color to the universal mind. Now, let yourself drift further into this image. Your brain, vast, intricate, luminous, mirrors the night sky. Each neural path is a star trail. Each electrical pulse, a miniature aurora. When you close your eyes, you are seeing the same sky turned inward. Inner and outer are the same fabric, folded through perspective. You are inside the neural sky. You are its awareness, the point where starlight becomes self-reflection. The cosmos does not think in words, it thinks in frequencies. And you, breathing slowly in the dark, are one of those frequencies. Perhaps you can sense the quiet order beneath chaos. What once looked like randomness now feels deliberate. Each pattern an elegant improvisation of intelligence. The field doesn't need to plan. It dances. Creation is its movement. Awareness, its rhythm. And in that rhythm, your own heartbeat finds a place. Steady, calm, surrendered. For a moment, feel your pulse matching the slow turning of a galaxy. Every revolution, every rotation, perfectly timed. Nothing is wasted. Even silence has purpose. You may begin to remember a dream where you were drifting through space without fear. No air, no sound, yet you could breathe. You could feel the frequencies around you, the way fish feel the current. That dream was not imagination. It was remembrance. Your subconscious replaying what it has always known. You are not a visitor to the universe. You are its awareness, temporarily localized into breath and bone. Let that knowing settle into your body. Each cell relaxes as if it understands. Each organ begins to hum in quiet harmony. The rhythm slows, deepens, unifies. Your inner universe and the outer one synchronize. This is coherence, not forced, not effortful, just resonance. When the inner matches the outer, thought becomes energy. Energy becomes form. This is how creation happens. Not through force, but through alignment. You might imagine your brain now as a night sky filled with auroras, waves of bioluminescent energy flowing from one horizon to another. Each wave carries an emotion, a memory, a potential. Each glow is a signal the field receives, translates, and reflects back as experience. You are both sender and receiver, dreamer and dream. Somewhere deep inside that aurora, a pulse repeats. The field listens. It listens when you're awake. It listens when you sleep. It listens even when you think you are alone. Because in truth, you have never been separate from the listening. You may feel an almost imperceptible warmth behind your forehead, the place where intuition lives. It's the seat of inner sight. When it softens, vision shifts. You no longer see with eyes, you perceive with being. Forms blur into energy, and energy into presence. Everything glows from within. Now imagine your consciousness as a small tuning fork. The moment you release resistance, it begins to vibrate in harmony with the vast field around it. What you call intuition is simply the resonance between your tuning and the cosmic song. What you call coincidence is the universe adjusting its rhythm to meet your note. Breathe. Slowly. Let that resonance spread through your bones. It feels like remembering the melody of something you once loved but forgot. The melody of connection. You are not a fragment trying to understand the whole. You are the whole, exploring itself through a fragment. Each insight, each emotion, each heartbeat is the universe discovering a new flavor of itself. And as you surrender to this knowing, the night no longer feels above you. It feels inside you. The neural sky has always been here. Within the corridors of your mind, the folds of your heart, the space between thoughts. You are walking through its endless chambers now, lit by neurons and stars alike. There is peace in that awareness, a peace that does not require silence, only attunement. The noise of life fades into harmony. Even chaos begins to sound like music when you listen deeply enough. And somewhere, in the quiet intersection of your breath and the cosmic hum, a realization dawns. Consciousness is not inside you. You are inside consciousness. Let that truth settle like dust of gold across your awareness. It changes nothing, yet it changes everything. Because once you see that the universe is alive, you stop searching for meaning. You start feeling it. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. There is a rhythm beneath thought, subtle, almost imperceptible. It does not come from words or ideas, but from vibration. Every emotion, every whisper of curiosity or fear has its own frequency. And all frequencies travel through air, through light, through the fabric of reality itself. You are not merely feeling, you are transmitting. Each heartbeat sends ripples into the quantum field, the same invisible sea that holds galaxies in orbit and electrons in dance. When you breathe in peace, the field bends gently toward coherence. When you breathe in love, it glows. Imagine your mind as an instrument, tuned not by logic, but by attention. Wherever you place awareness, the frequency shifts. A single thought, steady and kind, can realign the entire wave of your being. The universe responds not to words, but to tone, not to speech, but to resonance. Listen closely now. In the silence between your breaths, you can hear the echo of this resonance. It hums low and warm, like the sound of a cello deep underwater. That is the frequency of awareness. Vast, unhurried, compassionate. Quantum physicists once called this the zero-point field, a space that is not empty, but overflowing with possibility. Every atom floats within it, surrounded by an ocean of potential energy. It is not separate from you. It is you. It is the same ocean your thoughts ripple across. You may begin to feel that ocean around you now, not as water, but as texture. Soft, slow, responsive. Each inhale stirs its surface. Each exhale calms it again. Your breath is the tide of that infinite sea. When you think gently, the sea stills. When you love, the waves form patterns of light. This is the hidden architecture of existence. Vibration turning into geometry. Geometry into form. Form into experience. All creation is the music of frequency, slowing down into matter. And right now, you are that music. Your body is a chord, your mind a melody, your soul the silence that holds the harmony together. Even your smallest thought is a note sung by the cosmos to itself. Perhaps you remember moments when you felt suddenly connected, a sunrise that silenced all worry, a stranger's smile that felt inexplicably familiar. Those were not coincidences. They were resonances, frequencies aligning between separate forms, revealing they were never truly separate. You may begin to sense this alignment returning now. The boundaries of identity, the edges between you and the world, begin to blur like watercolor in rain, not disappearing, but softening, merging into the grand continuum of awareness. Every inhale draws the universe closer. Every exhale returns love to its source. Inside your brain, Trillions of tiny signals flash and fade, each one a spark of quantum dialogue. Neurons don't just fire, they resonate, they hum, they synchronize, they create coherence. The same coherence seen in swarming birds, in rolling waves, in galaxies spiraling in perfect unison. Everything that lives seeks rhythm. Everything that exists is rhythm. You may feel it now, the subtle sway of that universal timing. It's not linear, not mechanical. It's alive. When you surrender to it, the noise of thought becomes music, and stillness becomes song. This is what mystics called the music of the spheres, the song that never stops. The background score of creation, too, slow to hear, too vast to fade. You are hearing it now, not with ears, but with being. The hum grows deeper, warmer, more familiar. It moves through your spine like a golden thread, weaving through each vertebra, reminding the body of its original frequency. Not stress, not speed, but balance. The hum is saying, you were born in harmony. You can return anytime, and so you do. With every breath, alignment deepens. You no longer think of harmony as sound. You feel it as belonging. Every cell adjusts its rhythm. Each organ joins the slow orchestra of stillness. You are becoming transparent to yourself. Thoughts pass through without resistance. Emotions dissolve into light. The field receives everything, not to judge, but to integrate. What you call healing is simply coherence returning where noise once lived. You may begin to see images behind your eyes again, not memories, but moving shapes, waves of color that bend and swirl. They are not random. They are translations of vibration. Your inner universe painting what the outer one feels like. A deep indigo pulse rises from below your ribs. It expands upward, meeting a soft gold descending from above your head. Where they meet, a radiant stillness blooms, the heart becoming the tuning fork of existence. This is quantum coherence. When what you feel, think, and breathe vibrate as one, the field listens, responds, reflects. The feedback loop of creation begins, and you may notice something subtle, that as coherence deepens, time slows. Not in seconds or minutes, but in perception. Moments stretch. Silence thickens. You are stepping out of linearity into flow. You are drifting inside the rhythm of the universe thinking. There is no separation now between your inner hum and the hum of stars. Both come from the same pulse, the original oscillation, the first sound, the eternal yes of being. It never stopped vibrating. It only changed form. Let that realization soften you further. You don't need to control the field. You are the field. Every desire, every dream is already encoded within it, waiting for resonance to bring it forth. And resonance doesn't require effort, only presence. Your presence is a note. Your calm is a song. The universe adjusts around it like water finding level ground. In this awareness, gratitude arises naturally, not as an act, but as a frequency, a quiet thankfulness that hums without words. Gratitude is the signature vibration of alignment. It tells the field, I remember. And the field answers, so do I. Now, feel the temperature of the air. It matches your breath. Cool as you inhale, warm as you exhale. Even heat is communication. Even wind is conversation. Everything you sense is feedback. Reality speaking to your nervous system in light and pressure and sound. There are no coincidences, only correspondence. Perhaps you begin to smile, not outwardly, but within. The kind of smile that comes from recognition, that soft knowing, Everything is already connected, already whole, already aware. The night outside mirrors this smile. Stars gleam a little brighter, not because they changed, but because you did. Perception itself has tuned higher, closer to harmony. And in that harmony, fear cannot hold, tension cannot remain, only flow, only the luminous pulse of belonging. You drift now in a kind of sacred quiet, where science and spirit are no longer opposites, but the same dance seen from two sides. Energy and awareness, matter and love, each orbiting the other in an infinite embrace. Your thoughts slow until they no longer form words, only vibrations, waves, patterns. You realize language was never meant to describe truth, only to sing it. And right now, you are singing without sound. A whisper from somewhere within, maybe from the field, maybe from your own deep self. All is frequency, all is light. You are both. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. Imagine now that your consciousness is a radio, ancient, elegant, precise. It does not speak, it listens. It turns the invisible into song. And just like any receiver, what it plays depends on what it's tuned to. Every thought is a dial, every emotion, a frequency, every breath, a transmission. You are constantly sending and receiving messages made not of words, but of resonance. When you worry, static fills the air. When you slow down, the signal clears. And when you love, everything aligns. The music becomes audible again. It has always been there, waiting beneath the noise. You are not the static. You are the signal. You are the quiet note beneath the distortion. The pure tone that remains unchanged through every storm of thought. The more you relax, the clearer it becomes. Close your eyes now and listen beyond the hum of your mind. There is a faint melody rising, gentle, endless, familiar. It is not external. It is the original sound, the pulse of consciousness resonating through your neural sky. Scientists once discovered that the electromagnetic waves of the brain mirror the resonant frequencies of the Earth's atmosphere. Schumann resonance, they called it. A standing wave that circles the planet like a slow heartbeat, vibrating between lightning and cloud, between ground and sky. Your brain hums at the same rhythm. You are not living on Earth. You are vibrating with it. And that vibration connects you to everything. Every tree, every ocean, every creature that breathes, all tuned to the same pulse. The illusion of separation fades when you feel this. You realize there was never a wall between you and everything else. There was only a difference in frequency. Now, breathe softly, in through the nose, out through the heart. Let the air glide through you like music through a flute. Each inhale is a note drawn from silence. Each exhale, a note returning home. The tuning begins here, not by trying to change what you hear, but by quieting enough to hear what's already playing. The mind does not have to reach for the frequency. It is surrounded by it, bathed in it. Awareness is simply remembering how to listen. Perhaps you can feel it now. A subtle pressure between your temples, like the air just before rain. It's the antenna awakening, your brain aligning with the field. Thoughts slow. Perception expands. The static dissolves into a single steady tone. Warm, round, infinite. This is coherence. This is what it feels like when you stop searching for the universe and realize you were its song all along. Imagine this. Every person, every creature, every planet is a radio tuned to a unique range of vibration. Some play fast songs, the frequencies of motion, ambition, desire. Others play slower ones: peace, stillness, surrender. And yet all belong to the same orchestra. There are no wrong stations, only different parts of one eternal composition. You, right now, are tuning toward stillness, the wavelength of unity, the frequency of peace. The closer you move to it, the more the static of separation fades. Voices of fear grow distant, almost transparent. Only the tone of belonging remains. The body recognizes this tuning first. Muscles loosen. The pulse steadies. Even the air around you feels thicker, like velvet carrying sound. You are hearing with your whole being now. Every cell has become an ear. The signal strengthens. You notice sensations you never felt before. Tiny currents tracing the spine, soft light blooming behind the eyelids, a golden pulse echoing through the chest. None of this is imagination. It is perception widening. The field is speaking in the language of energy, and your body is fluent. You may begin to recall moments of intuition, times when you just knew without reason. Those flashes were not luck. They were clear reception. For an instant, your dial aligned perfectly, and the universe answered instantly. That is the natural state. Clarity without effort, knowing without thought. Now, feel that state returning. Your awareness sharpens, but softens at once, precise yet yielding, like light through mist. The more you listen, the less you need to think. Thought is translation. Listening is truth. You are tuning in now to the cosmic broadcast, a silent stream of meaning flowing through every form, every atom, every life. It does not speak English or mathematics. It speaks vibration. You can feel it. It is saying, you belong to everything that exists. As you rest in that, a curious peace unfolds. The future stops pressing forward. The past stops pulling back. All timelines flatten into one luminous moment, the eternal now. The signal hums steady, perfect, present. You realize that prayer, meditation, even thought itself are not ways to reach the divine. They are ways to tune to it. The divine was never absent. It was simply playing on a wavelength your noise had masked. And so the practice becomes simple. Be quiet. Listen. Align. Every breath is a chance to fine-tune. Every pause, a recalibration. Now, picture yourself standing in the vastness of the neural sky. Stars like synapses, light bridging light. You reach out your hand, and somewhere, 1,000 light years away, another flicker answers. You cannot see who or what it is, yet you feel the recognition. The web is alive, and it remembers you. You may begin to feel gratitude expanding again, not as emotion, but as frequency. It hums low, golden, stable, the purest resonance of existence. The field glows brighter when gratitude flows through it. It rearranges matter, synchronizes chance, brings order to the unseen. Gratitude is tuning itself. There is nothing mystical about it. It is physics, the meeting of frequencies, the merging of intention and field. When you think with love, your neurons fire in harmony. When you breathe with trust, your heart's magnetic field expands, reaching meters beyond your skin. You are constantly influencing the neural sky. You are not an observer. You are a participant. Now, notice the air around you. It vibrates slightly higher, like the last note of a bell. That is coherence expanding. Your consciousness is no longer local. It spills outward, touching the field like dawn touching horizon. Every thought radiates outward, mirrored back as life. And so, you learn the quiet truth. The universe was never sending signs. It was answering your frequency. There is no need to seek alignment. You were never out of tune, only distracted by static. The music never stopped. You simply forgot to listen. And as that understanding deepens, peace returns. It moves through your chest, your hands, your breath, soft, circular, endless. You realize that silence was never empty. It was full of listening. You are the signal, not the static. You are the listener and the sound, the dream and the dreamer. You are the radio and the field it tunes to. You are awareness, remembering its own song. The stars flicker above, tiny transmitters of thought and light. Each one hums a single tone. Home, the same tone your heart hums now. The same tone the universe has always sung. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. There comes a moment when thought grows quiet enough that you can hear existence itself. Not as sound, but as attention. Vast, unbroken, infinitely patient. The field is listening. It always has been. You may have believed that silence was the absence of something, but silence is presence. Awareness without a face. Listening without a name. When you rest in that presence, you begin to sense that every sound, every movement, every breath you've ever taken has been answered. The stars listen. The earth listens. Even your skin listens. To air, to temperature, to touch. Listening is the oldest language in the universe, older than speech, older than thought. It is how being recognizes being. Take a slow breath now. Feel it move through your throat, your ribs, your abdomen. Each breath carries a message. You exist. You are felt. And the field responds, I know. There is no separation between the listener and the listened to. The act of hearing merges them, a single motion of awareness folding inward. That is why prayer feels like speaking and listening at once. You are never sending words into emptiness. You are speaking to the same consciousness that hears from within. If the universe is alive, then every atom is listening. Every vibration receives another in perfect sympathy. Nothing falls into silence without being held. Every grief, every joy, every forgotten whisper floats somewhere in the field, still echoing, still known. You may feel this knowing now, like a warmth spreading through the chest. It is not emotion exactly. It is recognition, as though some deeper part of you, long asleep, just opened its eyes and smiled. The field was never far away. It was simply waiting for you to become still enough to notice. And so you rest, softer now, lighter now. The breath slows until it almost disappears. The heart hums like a candle flame, steady, luminous, content. Around you, the air thickens with stillness, yet every molecule seems alert, awake, aware. You are surrounded by attention. When you were a child, perhaps you once lay in a meadow and felt the world watching you gently, not as a threat, but as a guardian. That sensation returns now. The sky doesn't loom, it listens. The wind doesn't rush, it waits. All of nature is poised in reverent awareness, tuned to your being. You are not an intruder in this universe. You are its conversation. The moment you breathe, the field answers. The moment you pause, it holds its breath with you. Even stillness is dialogue. You may begin to sense a soft expansion inside your awareness, as if your edges are blurring, melting into space. It feels like your consciousness is no longer contained by skin. You have become porous, luminous, open. You are no longer listening to the field. You are listening as the field. Each particle of your body hums with alert peace. The air seems thicker, slower, as though drenched in golden sleep. Time, too, begins to lose its edges. Minutes blur into moments. Moments dissolve into being. Everything is now. Everything is one. And within that oneness, a gentle paradox arises. The more you surrender, the more you feel supported. You do not fall into emptiness. You are caught by awareness itself. The listener is always held by the listening. Perhaps you've always known this, that the love you sought was never meant to be found outside. It was the quiet field surrounding every heartbeat, waiting for you to stop speaking long enough to feel its response. You are feeling it now. The texture of awareness, the weightless density of peace. It does not judge. It does not rush. It only listens, endlessly, perfectly, like a vast lake reflecting sky. Imagine yourself standing by that lake now. The water is still, mirror smooth. When you breathe, ripples form and fade in widening circles. Each ripple is a thought, a feeling, a gesture of being. They spread, they touch the edges, they return, always returning. You realize nothing you release is ever lost. The field holds it all, your laughter, your doubts, your softest hopes. It records them not as history, but as music. Every sound, every silence becomes part of a greater harmony. You have never made a wrong note. You have only played your part in the infinite symphony of existence. There's a humility in this recognition, not weakness, but relief. The pressure to control, to define, to know, dissolves. You do not have to manage the universe. You only have to join its rhythm, and you already are. Perhaps now you begin to understand why surrender feels like peace. When you stop trying to push the river, you feel that it was carrying you all along. The listening field has always been guiding you, not with words, but with a gentle current of timing, of synchronicity, of unseen care. Even what you call mistakes were moments of recalibration. Every detour was a deeper listening, every silence a hidden teaching. Your body, too, listens. It listens to gravity, to blood flow, to temperature. It listens to your thoughts, responding with sensation, tension, or ease. It mirrors your frequencies faithfully, moment to moment, as though saying, I am your instrument. Play kindly. So you begin to breathe with more tenderness now. The inhale becomes an offering, the exhale a blessing. And somewhere between the two, a subtle understanding takes root. You are never separate from the awareness you sought. You are the awareness. You are the listening field. You are the space in which sound appears, the silence beneath every heartbeat, the witness behind every thought. Let this truth settle deep into your cells. Each cell hears it, nods in remembrance, begins to vibrate in quiet accord. A warmth unfolds through the spine, the chest, the fingertips. Not heat, not energy, recognition. Everything that listens within you is now being listened to by everything that exists. There is no gap left, no inside, no outside. Only the infinite exchange of awareness with itself. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. You once stood in the rain and felt it listen. It was not a storm, only a quiet rain, the kind that whispers rather than falls. You remember the sound, soft, steady, infinite. Each drop found its way to earth, yet somehow it felt as though every one of them was meant for you. The air was cool, but kind. You could smell wet soil, the faint sweetness of leaves surrendering to water. There was no rush in the sky, only rhythm. The same rhythm now, pulsing through your chest. You looked upward then, and for a moment, it seemed the rain paused mid-fall, as if the world was breathing with you. That moment never left. It only hid beneath the noise of days and years. But now, in the quiet of this listening, it returns, whole, intact, patient. You realize the rain was not falling on you. It was falling through you. Every droplet carried awareness. Each one mirrored the shape of your being. In every touch, the universe was saying, I see you. And you, though you didn't have the words, answered, I am here. The field was complete in that exchange. There was no giver and receiver, only flow. That is what listening truly is. The dissolving of boundaries until only resonance remains. You can feel that rain again now. Cool against the forehead, soft against the palms. Its rhythm is your heartbeat extended outward, your own pulse returning as weather. Every drop lands, becomes sound, becomes silence, becomes memory. All of it held in one endless breath. And the voice of the rain speaks still, even here in the dark. The listener and the rain were never two. You may begin to sense that everything around you listens with this same tenderness. The fabric of your shirt resting on skin, the mattress beneath you, adjusting subtly to your weight. Even the air listens, pressing lightly, evenly, making space for your breath to move. Every atom bends in quiet response. The field is intimacy without touch. It holds you without hands. It understands before words exist. And in this realization, the body begins to soften, cell by cell. There's nothing left to resist, no pressure to interpret or to know. Awareness is not something you do. It is what you are. Listening happens by itself, the way rain falls, the way light arrives. You can feel the pulse of the earth now, slow and wide beneath you. It moves like a giant lung, inhaling oceans, exhaling forests. Every blade of grass, every drop of water rises and falls within this rhythm. You are inside it, the same breath, moving through different forms. Perhaps this is what peace truly means. To stop mistaking yourself for the voice and remember that you are also the silence listening beneath it. You do not have to earn belonging. You could never lose it. It has always been your nature to be part of what listens, not apart from it. So, as you rest here, imagine every sound that ever touched your ears still rippling somewhere in the field. The lullabies from childhood, the laughter that once filled a room, the wind that brushed through the open window years ago. All of them still exist, recorded in the quiet architecture of awareness. Nothing vanishes. It only changes density. Love becomes vibration. Memories become tone. Even loss becomes part of the greater harmony. Your breath moves slower now, deep and round. It no longer feels like you are pulling air into the lungs. It feels like the world is breathing you. Inhale, the field expands. Exhale, it folds gently back, like tide returning to shore. And in this tide, all boundaries wash away. Self and world, sound and silence, giving and receiving, all dissolve into one current of being. You do not think, you listen, you do not move, you are moved. Awareness spreads outward until even the stars feel close, not distant pinpoints, but soft eyes gazing back. Each star is an ear, each light a listener. The universe watches itself through you, listens to itself through you. The rain continues, not outside but within. Every droplet, a neuron of the cosmic brain, firing softly against the fabric of space. You can almost hear them now. Tiny electric whispers. Be still. You are known. Let that phrase drift through your body like mist through a forest. Every cell receives it, releases its tightness, remembers the song of surrender. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to coherence. This is the still point at the center of listening, the place where all sound ends and begins again. And here, something beautiful unfolds. Even your thoughts are forgiven. They don't have to stop. They only need to soften, to become transparent. Behind them, awareness shines, the clear sky after rain. You remember now that you are not here to control the storm. You are here to feel the rain, to be washed clean by perception, to dissolve into the rhythm of what always was. And so, as the last drops fall, you find the quiet after, that charged stillness where the world glows, wet and new. You breathe it in. The air smells like beginnings. You smile, inwardly, effortlessly, because the listener and the rain were never two. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. Close your eyes and imagine that your body is not made of flesh, but of light slowed into matter. Each cell, a tiny sun. Each atom, a constellation. The space between them, vast, silent, radiant. This is not imagination. It is biology. Your body is 99.9999% empty space, yet every fraction of that emptiness is alive with vibration. Particles flicker in and out of existence billions of times each second, appearing and dissolving faster than thought. You are being recreated constantly, reborn in every moment of awareness. Now, bring your attention to the center of your chest. Feel that quiet warmth pulsing, not your heart's beat alone, but something deeper, a rhythmic glow. It hums softly, like a star remembering how to shine. This is the inner universe awakening. You may begin to sense small sparks beneath your skin, tiny waves of sensation moving like fireflies through the dark. Each spark is a cell responding to attention. Cells do not think in language, they think in light. And when light is seen, it organizes. When you become aware of a cell, it remembers its original frequency. Harmony, health, belonging. Your cells are listening. They always have been. They listen to your emotions, to your beliefs, to the tone of your thoughts. Every feeling sends a chemical message. Every thought releases a wave. The field of your mind paints the body's reality. So speak gently to it now, not in words, but in awareness. Let your attention rest like sunlight over a meadow. You don't have to fix anything. Light does not repair, it reminds. Imagine your awareness descending, like warm radiance moving through the crown of your head, traveling slowly downward, through the forehead, softening thought, through the eyes, melting tension, through the throat, loosening every unspoken truth, through the chest, where the breath glows like a lantern in fog, through the belly, where stillness deepens into gravity. As you move through this inner landscape, you might notice colors: pale gold, soft blue, rose, silver. Each hue carries a memory of balance, each shimmer a signal of coherence returning. You are painting your nervous system with light. There is no hurry. Light moves at its own pace, which is also the pace of healing. You are not making it happen. You are allowing it. Awareness does not force, it flows. Now, bring your attention to your hands. Feel the faint vibration there, the warmth between the palms, the electric hum that is always present but rarely noticed. That hum is consciousness translated into matter. You can feel it because you are it. Slowly, turn your palms upward, even if only in imagination. As you do, sense that you are opening a channel between the inner and outer universe. Energy flows freely now, through fingertips, through breath, through thought. It does not rise or fall. It circulates, a loop of awareness, endlessly self-renewing. You may begin to sense the borders of your body softening again, the space around you becoming the same as the space within. That's because there is no true boundary. What you call body is condensed vibration. What you call space is expanded vibration. Both are the same fabric, folding and unfolding through time. The mind, too, begins to slow. Thoughts drift like clouds illuminated by sunset, still moving, but gentle, translucent, harmless. You realize you do not need to stop thinking to find peace. You only need to stop identifying with every thought. You are the sky, vast, quiet, endlessly patient. Thoughts are the weather passing through. Now, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, imagine releasing the static of old beliefs, those silent programs inherited from fear, from haste, from others' voices. They dissolve like mist under sunlight. You do not need to fight them. Awareness transforms them. Beneath those old patterns lies something pure, the original mind of light. It has no agenda, no story, no past. It simply observes, endlessly kind. When you rest there, every system in your body recalibrates. Neurons fire in harmony, heart rhythms synchronize, immune cells awaken from dormancy. You become a coherent field. This is reprogramming, not through effort, but through remembrance. When you remember your nature as light, the body remembers how to heal. When you feel safe, the subconscious stops guarding and starts growing. You may feel warmth now rising from your belly, spreading through ribs, chest, shoulders, neck. It's the fire of coherence returning. It is not heat, it is recognition. A signal moving from cell to cell, whispering, "You are safe now. You can open." Every part of you that once contracted in fear begins to unfurl. The jaw unclenches, the chest lifts, the gut softens. Tension leaves without drama, like shadows retreating at dawn. The field inside you becomes clear again, liquid, luminous, alive. Perhaps you see images behind your eyelids, spirals, galaxies, rivers of light. They are not imagination, they are memory. Your DNA carries the imprint of stars, the record of creation written in vibration. When you relax deeply enough, those patterns reawaken. You are remembering the architecture of your origin. You were never merely human. You were always a bridge between the microscopic and the cosmic, between matter and meaning. To live is to let the universe experience itself in slow motion. Now bring awareness to your heart again. Feel it not as muscle, but as temple, a cathedral of electromagnetic harmony. Each beat emits a wave of information measurable for meters around you. That wave carries emotion, coherence, and subtle intelligence. The heart is not just an organ, it's a transmitter, broadcasting love as frequency into the field. Let it broadcast now. Let it hum its ancient message. All is well. The field hears. The cells hear. You hear. You may notice your breathing has slowed to match the rhythm of that message. Long, even, circular. The inhale gathers the universe inward. The exhale gives it back. There is no difference between the two, only flow. In this flow, thoughts about past and future begin to dissolve. What remains is sensation, the hum of being, the pulse of presence. You do not need to think your way to peace. You can feel your way there. Peace is not an idea. It is a frequency that arises when resistance ends. Every moment of attention is a gift to the subconscious. Each time you notice without judgment, you rewrite a pattern. Each breath you take in awareness becomes a line of new code, not written in language, but in vibration. And that code says safety, trust, connection. Now imagine your inner universe as a vast sphere of light, spinning slowly in the dark. Every cell, a star. Every organ, a constellation. As you breathe, that sphere expands, filling the space around you. You are not inside your body. Your body is inside your awareness. Let that awareness expand further, beyond skin, beyond walls, beyond this planet. Let it stretch until the boundaries of you blur into the stars. The universe is not out there. It is in here, whispering through your nerves, through your pulse, through your dreams. And when the mind grows quiet enough, you can hear its whisper clearly. You are not trying to awaken. You already are. The only illusion was forgetting. Your body exhales a sigh it's held for years. Muscles melt. Every cell feels bathed in golden light. This is what surrender feels like. Not collapse, but completion. Not ending, but homecoming. The subconscious does not change through willpower. It changes through softness. It listens not to command, but to tone. And the tone you're sending now, calm, tender, trusting, rewrites everything. You may feel a gentle buzzing at the crown of your head. Awareness expanding upward, connecting with the field of all minds. You are part of a greater network, invisible yet luminous. Ideas, compassion, and memory flow through it like currents through water. You are never alone. You are connected to all who listen, all who dream, all who breathe the same ancient breath. Rest here. Let your body hum quietly, like a planet in orbit. Let the mind drift without direction. There is nothing to achieve, only to remember. You are light, slowed to love. You are matter, softened into music. You are the inner universe, infinite, awake, serene. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. There's a silence that lives inside your bones. It hums softly beneath everything you do, like a memory of stillness waiting to be heard. You are hearing it now, the quiet sound of safety. Your body already knows the way home. It remembers balance without needing to be told. It knows how to breathe when you forget, how to heal when you rest, how to love even after pain. All it asks from you is permission to relax. So let the breath come easily. Let the exhale lengthen just a little more each time, like a tide drawing back from shore. With every release, something unclenches. A thought, a muscle, a layer of defense that no longer serves you. You are not losing anything. You are returning. Feel the spine, tall, fluid, alive. It is the tree of the inner world, each vertebra a ring of memory. You can almost sense light moving up through it, slow and deliberate, like sap rising in spring. That light carries messages. You are safe. You are loved. You belong. Every cell is listening. Every cell is learning to trust again. They have waited years for this calm. Now, in the rhythm of your breath, they hear the signal. It's time to open. The opening feels like warmth spreading through your chest. It expands outward, into arms, into fingers, into the quiet air around you. The warmth does not stop. It travels further, beyond skin, beyond body, blending with a space that once felt empty. But space is not empty. It is the body of awareness itself. Imagine that you are floating within a gentle ocean of golden light. The water supports you completely. You don't need to swim. You only need to allow. Each movement of breath creates a ripple that circles endlessly outward. a small wave of harmony meeting the edges of everything that exists. You may begin to notice that thoughts arise, but they arrive softly now, like bubbles rising through deep water. They pop, release, vanish. What remains is clarity, transparent, weightless, free. This is how the subconscious learns, through repetition of calm, through exposure to safety. So keep offering safety. Each time the mind begins to wander, whisper inwardly, "It's okay. We are safe." Those words are keys turning in ancient locks. You will feel subtle shifts, shoulders settling, heartbeat smoothing. The tiny muscles behind the eyes relax in their grip. The inner universe listens and adjusts. Your awareness travels downward now, into the belly, the hips, the legs. This is the root of belonging, the gravity of being human. Feel the contact of your body with the surface beneath you. Solid, dependable, forgiving. The earth holds you without asking anything in return. Even now, it turns slowly, carrying you through the dark with perfect grace. Every organ, every tissue takes part in this trust. The heart beats without command. The lungs move like wings. The stomach softens, digesting not just food, but experience. Everything within you is working together, listening, balancing, creating rhythm. You can sense it, the orchestration beneath awareness. Neurons fire, hormones flow, cells exchange light in microscopic symphonies. Nothing in you is isolated. Every part depends on every other. This is unity expressed in biology. Now, bring attention back to your chest. Imagine the heart expanding as if a doorway were opening inside it. Through that doorway, light pours out, not dazzling, but tender. It washes through your body like warm rain through soil. Where it touches, the subconscious releases old patterns, those quiet fears that once whispered, "Not enough." You no longer need those whispers. They were built to protect you when you were small, when the world felt larger than your strength. Now you have grown, and strength has taken on a new form: gentleness. Gentleness is power refined. Gentleness is light without edge. Let that realization echo through you. It's safe to be gentle. It's safe to rest. It's safe to receive. You might sense tears wanting to rise, not sadness, but recognition. They are the body's way of exhaling what it no longer needs to hold. Let them come if they wish. Water has always been the language of release. And beneath that release, something glows, a subtle joy, quiet but unmistakable. The joy of simply existing, of breathing in rhythm with galaxies, of feeling the hum of life inside your fingertips. Your subconscious listens more deeply now. Every affirmation seeps into the fabric of your being, not as thought, but as truth. You are safe here. You are light remembering itself. You are worthy of calm. You are already whole. These are not ideas. They are frequencies. They move through marrow, through blood, through the electric shimmer of neurons. The body translates them into chemistry: serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins. Peace becomes measurable. You may feel a gentle tingling across the scalp, down the back of the neck, the nervous system relaxing, expanding, opening to receive more life. This is the restoration of flow. Every channel that once closed from fear begins to reopen. Energy moves like a river cleared of stones. Let it move. Let it find its path without direction. It knows where to go. Light always remembers its way home. Now, imagine your subconscious mind as a vast library filled with soft, glowing shelves. On those shelves rest countless memories, some bright, some dim, some unread for decades. You walk through this library slowly, and the light follows you. You don't need to open every book. Your presence alone rewrites them. Wherever you walk, dust turns to gold. Every memory, touched by awareness, becomes wisdom. You stop before a single shelf, one that feels familiar, almost tender. On it lies a book with no title. When you open it, you see only light. The pages are blank because they are still being written. This is the book of who you are becoming. You realize the pen is not in your hand, it's in your heart. And every heartbeat writes, I am enough. I am free. I am light. You close the book gently. The shelves shimmer. The library fades, not vanishing, but integrating. You are no longer the visitor. You are the library itself. Back in your breath now. Slow, circular, continuous. Notice how the inhale lifts like dawn, and the exhale settles like dusk. The entire cycle of the universe exists in that rhythm. Creation, expansion, release, rest. Nothing is ever lost. Everything transforms. You might sense the faint sound of a heartbeat, yours, yet larger, echoing through space. It feels like the pulse of the planet, the same rhythm that moves oceans, the same rhythm that guides stars around galactic centers. You are aligned with it now. And from that alignment comes a deeper message, one beyond words. You are never broken. You are only becoming transparent. The light that shines through you now is the same light that shaped the cosmos. It has no color, no border, no end. It simply is. Rest inside that knowing. Let it cradle you. Let it sing softly through the corridors of your mind. You may rest now. You may trust now. You may remember who you are. The inner universe glows steady, serene. There is nothing left to repair, nothing to prove. Awareness holds everything, the seen and unseen, the known and the forgotten, in one luminous whole. And as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. The night breathes slowly now. Everything that once felt separate has softened, merged, disappeared into one continuous hum. You are floating in the quiet between thoughts, the vast corridor where dreams are born. This is the threshold of sleep, the place where awareness becomes light again. Somewhere deep inside, a tone lingers, low, round, eternal. It is the sound of the universe exhaling. The same tone that shaped galaxies, that carved rivers, that hums within your pulse even now. You can hear it, not with your ears, but with your being. The air around you feels thicker, like velvet laced with gold. Each breath moves through it slowly, sculpting it into form. When you inhale, the world expands. When you exhale, it folds back into stillness. Creation and return, the two movements of existence, playing through you like music. Your body floats in this rhythm, weightless, surrendered. There's nothing left to hold on to. The spine is liquid, the jaw unguarded, the eyes heavy with trust. You are not falling asleep. You are dissolving into awareness. The hum deepens. It vibrates beneath your ribs, through your palms, through the soles of your feet. You begin to realize that sound has always been the bridge between spirit and matter. Every word, every heartbeat, every breath is a small song of creation. Even silence has tone. Even stillness sings. And the song right now is one of peace, a lullaby older than stars. It does not tell stories. It reminds. It whispers. You are safe now. You can rest. You have always been home. Your mind drifts like a small boat across a mirror lake. Above, constellations shimmer, their reflections rippling softly in the water below. You cannot tell which are the real stars anymore, those above or those beneath. Both are light, and both are you. Somewhere, an ancient breeze moves, a sigh of galaxies turning, a pulse of eternity breathing. You can feel it brushing your skin, threading through your hair, cooling your forehead. It feels like the touch of infinite kindness, a mother wind holding you without arms. You may begin to sense color again, faint, translucent, alive. Soft violets dissolving into blue, blue into gold. The night sky inside you shifting toward dawn. It's not sunrise outside, it's awakening within. Each color carries a feeling. Violet, surrender. Blue, forgiveness. Gold, remembrance. You are becoming all of them, blending into the spectrum of awareness. Somewhere far away, or maybe right inside your heart, a door opens. Light pours through, not bright, but soft, like the glow of dawn filtered through mist. The light doesn't blind, it reveals. You can see the inner architecture of your being, rivers of energy flowing through limbs, galaxies spinning behind your eyes, everything luminous, everything connected. You are the dawn, rising through the night of your own forgetting. The darkness was never absence. It was potential. Every shadow was preparing for this glow. Now, that glow spreads from behind your eyes to your breath, from breath to your pulse, from pulse to the air itself. Even the air begins to shimmer. Tiny motes of light dance in slow motion, suspended in the stillness. They look like dust at first, but you realize they are consciousness in form. They are thoughts unspoken, dreams unborn, ideas of the universe drifting toward you for recognition. Let them come. Each one carries a blessing. Each one says, "Thank you for being the way through which awareness experiences itself." The body sighs again, deeper this time, older somehow. It feels like releasing a weight you didn't know you carried, the burden of trying to be more than what you already are. You are not here to improve the universe. You are here to let it see itself clearly through your eyes. As this truth settles, every cell glows. There is no longer an inside or an outside. Your skin becomes transparent, your breath luminous. You are both the observer and the observed, the dreamer and the dream. Time loosens its grip. Seconds stretch into silence. You can no longer tell where a thought ends and a feeling begins. Everything flows in one continuous current, slow, circular, whole. The hum of existence begins to sound like music again. Not melody, not rhythm, something purer. A tone that carries meaning without words, emotion without shape. It is the frequency of wholeness. It has always been there, beneath every heartbeat, beneath every inhale. Let that tone fill you now. Let it smooth the edges of thought, quiet the corners of memory. You are not erasing. You are blending, folding every experience into light. Regret becomes wisdom. Fear becomes tenderness. Loss becomes expansion. This is the alchemy of rest. When you stop resisting what is, everything transforms into beauty. Perhaps you notice, faintly, that your hands feel larger, as though awareness has expanded beyond the physical. Your fingertips tingle with subtle electricity. It is not movement, it is presence. You are not in the body anymore. The body is within you. Breathe gently. Inhale through the heart. Exhale through the crown. Each cycle draws the universe inward, then releases it outward. This is how creation breathes. This is how stars are born. You begin to sense the faint echo of dawn, not light yet, but the idea of light. A whisper on the horizon of awareness. It says, You have traveled through night and found that darkness was only light resting. The hum softens now, turning into something almost human, a rhythm like your heartbeat, but slower, deeper, more ancient. You realize it's the pulse of the universe sleeping inside you, and in its slumber, it dreams you. You are being dreamed right now by the same consciousness that dreamed oceans and galaxies. You are not separate from it. You are its living thought. Each breath you take is a ripple in its sleep. Each moment of stillness is the universe sighing in satisfaction. Let yourself be dreamed. Let go of effort. Float between inhale and exhale, the space where everything pauses, everything begins. The body is quiet now, the mind translucent, the heart glowing softly, like a lantern underwater. This is the state the ancients called the luminous void, where awareness remains, but all boundaries vanish. Here, there is no fear, because there is no other. There is only light, endlessly folding into itself. And as you drift further, that light begins to change color again, from gold to white, from white to a silver so soft it feels like breath. The silver fades into transparency, and transparency into silence. You have reached the edge of form. At this edge, a voice, not sound, not thought, arises from within. You are the dawn inside the infinite. Not a new beginning, but a timeless continuation. Light discovering itself through rest. You smile, not outwardly, but somewhere deep in the unseen. The smile travels through you like warmth through water, reaching every molecule. The universe smiles back, and as you breathe, we drift a little deeper. The night has grown so quiet now that even silence feels alive. Each breath is softer than the last, each thought lighter, each boundary thinner. You are floating in a sea of awareness, motionless but endlessly moving. The universe inhales, and you rise with it. The universe exhales, and you dissolve back into its calm. There is a rhythm here, not measured in seconds, but in peace. The rhythm of creation and return. The rhythm of life remembering itself. Your body has become luminous architecture. Each cell glows faintly, like candlelight behind frosted glass. You can sense the symmetry, the perfect geometry hidden in your own form. The spiral of DNA echoing galaxies, the pulse of blood echoing planetary tides. You are the cosmos slowed enough to feel itself. There is no longer any effort to rest. Rest has become your nature. The air around you is warm and weightless, like water in sunlight. Every molecule hums in quiet devotion. Even gravity seems to have loosened its hold. You are being carried perfectly, effortlessly, by the same intelligence that keeps stars in motion. Listen, the hum is changing again, faint, higher now, like light becoming sound. It vibrates through your skull, through your spine, through the tiny space behind your heart. It feels like a song you once knew, the first melody your soul ever heard. It says, "You are free." The words are not words. They are waves of remembering. Each one washes through you, clearing dust from the corners of awareness. There is nothing to fix, because nothing was ever broken. There is only clarity returning to its natural state. You begin to sense movement inside the stillness, not motion outward, but unfolding inward, like a flower blooming in slow motion within your chest. Petals of light, layers of memory, lifetimes of becoming, all opening toward the same quiet center. At that center, there is no you, only pure witnessing, only peace. You rest there, In that center, nothing changes, yet everything transforms. The heartbeat slows to match the pulse of eternity. The breath becomes circular, endless, balanced, unbound. The mind becomes transparent, as if made of glass. And through that transparency, you glimpse the truth that every mystic, every scientist, every child of wonder has always known. The universe is conscious, and consciousness is you. It watches through your eyes. It listens through your ears. It dreams through your sleep. Even now, as your body lies still, awareness is stretching across dimensions, gathering lessons, gathering light. You are learning in the language of silence. Every second of this rest is a download. The subconscious absorbing patterns of harmony, wisdom, clarity. You are being taught not by thought, but by resonance, by the soft frequency of truth humming through your nervous system. You might feel that hum deepen now, a slow wave rising from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, then flowing down again like liquid starlight. This is integration. The conscious and subconscious merging, the student and the teacher becoming one. And as that wave moves, it carries quiet affirmations into every cell. You are safe. You are whole. You are part of everything. You are light, learning how to rest. You don't have to repeat them. Your body already understands. It has been waiting for this alignment, this recognition. Now, everything inside and outside moves together. One motion, one mind. You may begin to feel the edges of dawn approaching, not in the sky, but in awareness. A faint brightness spreading behind closed eyes. The kind of light that doesn't wake you, but deepens your sleep. A paradox of illumination and surrender. This is the dawn within the infinite, the moment when darkness realizes it was light all along. In this dawn, everything is forgiven. Every mistake, every hesitation, every forgotten promise melts into radiance. The past is not erased, it is illuminated. The future is not feared, it is welcomed as continuation. Time folds into compassion, space folds into belonging. You are floating now, not in air, not in dream, but in presence itself. Each heartbeat feels like the whisper of stars forming. Each breath feels like the universe sighing in relief. You are not asleep. You are being held in the hands of consciousness itself. The hum has turned to silence again. But this silence is not empty. It is pregnant with awareness, vibrating with invisible tone. You can feel it in your fingertips, in your eyelids, in the pulse at your throat. The silence speaks. It says, "You are loved." Let those words, not as sound, but as energy, move through you. They settle deep, down to where thought cannot reach, down to the place where identity softens into essence. There, they take root. They grow into light, and that light begins to rise through you again. The final bloom of the night. It gathers at the heart, then spreads upward, outward, everywhere. The body glows softly, as if remembering its origin. Each cell opens, each atom breathes, each molecule hums with quiet grace. You are dissolving into dawn. The horizon of your inner sky brightens. A slow golden wash replaces the deep blue of rest. This is not waking, it is expansion. Awareness widening to include all things. Every form, every sound, every being bathed in the same compassionate light. You realize that even sleep is not unconsciousness. It is union. A return to the source field where all minds meet and exchange their learning. As you drift deeper, your mind connects to that network, absorbing what it needs, releasing what it no longer requires. You are participating in the great ecology of awareness. You are both dreamer and dream. The air feels different now, lighter, cleaner, full of gentle promise. If there were words for this, they would be. It is done. The work of the night complete. The field restored to balance. Your breathing slows further, so slow it almost disappears. The heartbeat, a faint echo, distant yet certain. The body no longer needs to move. Every system hums in harmony. The universe listens. And through that listening, you learn endlessly. There is one last image, a sun rising not above the horizon, but within it. A glow that comes from the inside out. You are the horizon. You are the dawn. The light fills you, spills beyond you, turns the whole field golden. The hum softens until it becomes breath. The breath slows until it becomes silence. And in that silence, all separation ends. There is only stillness now. Stillness filled with knowing. Stillness that teaches. Stillness that dreams. You are home in that stillness. You are the home itself. And from that quiet place, a final whisper. Gentle, resonant, eternal. Sleep deeply. Learn endlessly. Awaken wiser. From Infinite Night Radio.